Hi, Norma Cowie here. I had just been to see Black Adam, and I don't know really where, but I just wanted to be able to impart once more a movie review on this. Now, one reason I went to see it was because Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson was going to be in it, and usually he has a lot of action and lots of things like that in it, and I enjoy action movies. So, without really knowing too much about it, hadn't read too much about it except what the theater said, I just decided I was going to go and see that. And I only knew Pierce Bosnan. Oh my goodness, he looks so handsome now. Oh my goodness, grayish beard, gray hair, suave, and plays Dr. Fate. And I don't know any of the other actors. I've got the names written down here, but I haven't got a clue who they were. Even their names were very unfamiliar to me in the sense of not only their personal names, but also who their different characters were. But I tell you, one has to always look at when one first begins to tell a movie. You go, do you enjoy it? Did I enjoy it? Well, I didn't thoroughly enjoy it, I will admit. But there were parts of it I found excellent. I found parts of it really, really, really exciting, actually. There weren't a lot of people in the theater, so I couldn't really feel, because I had a lot of room and space around me because I was sitting where there wasn't too many other people. But what did I like about it? Well, The Rock is The Rock, The Rock does his thing. And that look that he can get, that very, very eyebrow up and stick. But there was something missing in this movie. Whether it was connection with the people, there were the people who found him and raised him out of the dead, we'll say. There were, and they still had a part all the way through. There was the people who came, the Justice League, with characters I wasn't familiar with. I've watched some Justice League movies, and I don't remember seeing these guys in it. So it was like, okay. I'm not I have to admit, over the years, I found DC movies a little darker, not so exciting as the other ones that come out, and not as bright, usually a little dark. But anyway, it was historically interesting because there was people who were being subjected by a ruling class, and how they fought, and how it was old legends coming alive. There were parts, as I said, was exciting. Now, there's one part I felt that was really important. Is what did I say his name was? Look it back on my note. Dr. Fate, Piers Bosnan. Oh, had where he could make things look all different, and he, in his mind, goes down where the Rock has been finally put away because he's the bad guy, right? Black Adam, and telling him he's the only one that can save him. So he has to get himself out of where he's locked up, which is way down in the ocean. I don't think I'm giving anything away there telling that, except he comes, and then because there's another big fight. So this movie, to me, and for anybody else who wants to go and see it, I think there's parts of it you're really going to like. And there's other parts you're going to kind of question a little bit somehow. It seems very cartoonish in places, especially when they deal in the beginning of it. It had that feeling of when they were talking about the history of it. And at times it was the coloring, I think. I don't know why those people in DC, it is DC movies, isn't it? They didn't seem to get the coloring right. I don't know what they do, but they don't. It's either too dark or this was a sort of more orangey looking at times, very cartoonish. But there was action. Yes, there was, and there were big fights. And some of the fight scenes were very interesting because of the Justice League's different things that they had. Everyone played their part very, very well. But I do want to say this one thing. Don't leave right at the very end, because just like in Marvel movies, you wait to the end. Well, you wait through and they give you little snippets. And there was a snippet in there, and at the very end, that kind of is surprising and interesting, whether that's carried into another movie or not. And it's worth waiting to see. I think I know I shouted out. And so there's a lot there. I just want you to recognize that it may not be the best movie ever made. It may not be The Rock's best movie ever made. It does have some value right now in relation to what's happening in our society. It has some relationship in one person's, or some people, one company, one class, you might say, ruling over the other classes, which is an old theme in our history. But how would I place this? I usually do it out of 5. I would give this 3.5. So yes. Anyway, go see the movies. Go see this movie. You make your own decision. Was I glad to see it? That's the main thing. Was I glad? Yes, I'm glad I saw it, because now I've seen it. Do I have to see it again? Don't think so. But you might enjoy many of the different aspects that they had in there. So I just want to thank you for listening. You go and enjoy the movies.